Welcome back to Econo Chat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. I hope you enjoyed the musical break, but of course we gotta get back to business. And Mr. Daniel Steinman, we are talking decentralization, local authorities, regional councils, what their roles are. And let me just start off with a question. In terms of since independence, do you think that Namibia has done well in the development of the country since independence to 2023?
Yes, massively. There's no doubt in my mind that you must remember we were basically a colony.
Yeah.
So everything was dictated by Pretoria. And can you remember the days of blanke administratie and buster administratie in Rehoboth? This is long before many of the younger generation, but that was the reality, and this is the whole point. This is the point I'm making. If you want to develop a country, which is an economic fact, you have to have the infrastructure to get there where you want to develop that region, and you have to have the competent people in place there who can do the job. So that's why the two key elements that I highlighted in the first part of our discussion is infrastructure and capacity. And you can't get around this. And the pre-independence conditions are a very good example of what you shouldn't do. Because Namibia was not properly developed. Why? Because the authority was not here. And then after independence, the authority shifted from Pretoria to Windhoek. Wow, fantastic. We're making progress. But what took us the better part of about 15 years to realize is that, okay, now the political power is in Windhoek, and the administrative authority is in Windhoek, with a little bit of political presence in Swakopmund and Walvis Bay and Gobabis, and only the very big places, nothing in the north. And that process took us many years to just get through the first baby steps. And you know what's the interesting thing is, the first hurdles, or the major hurdles in the beginning, the impediments, were legal. And you know why? Because of the type of legislation that we had regarding communal areas. Because a communal area, and we inherited it that way, belongs to the whole group of people who lives in that area, and they are subject either to a regional council or to a tribal authority. It means that you could not own your own land. And that was very important. So the first legal step that we had to take, and this process started in about 1992, was the promulgation of the Local Authorities Act. And that gave the ministers certain powers to start demarcating townships, because that's what we lacked in the communal area. If you go from Windhoek to Okahanya, it's very obvious when you are in the so-called commons, the area that is controlled by the municipality. And then when you drive a bit further, then you see, now I'm in the district, the old RBO, the Peri-Urban Development Board, and then you get closer to Okahanya, and then you can see, okay, now I'm in the domain of a municipality again. That structure we lacked on the ground. Why? Because we lack it in law. And only after promulgation of the Local Authorities Act could we start with the process of proclaiming towns like Oshakati and Ondangwa and Utapi, and later on Upu. What came still later? Ongwena. Those are very late comers, because it was a communal area, and there was no legal authority to make them a town. And now here's the big catch, and this is what took us a long time to find out. If you want to draw investment, collateral security is a very important component, and land becomes a very important form of collateral, but then it has to be legally defined.
Definitely, yeah.
So we first got the Local Authorities Act, then we started the proclamation process for various towns, then we started the demarcation process. This is my little piece of land, my earth, that's yours. Boundaries,
Yes.
title deeds, all of this followed, but it took years.
It took years.
And the moment there's a title deed, there's a registered owner. And the moment there's a registered owner, he can go knock on the bank's door and say, I've got this property. Can I borrow $100,000 against it? Or can I borrow $1 million against it? And that took us to really get to that level, took almost 20 years. You know, so that question you ask, yeah, how much did we? I want to say exceedingly. We developed Namibia massively, but slowly. Yeah, and this is what we must change. We must carry on developing Namibia, but at a faster pace.
Definitely. And on that note, let's quickly go for a short break, and then once we come back, we will definitely touch on utilities, for example, NemPower.